Before getting this phone, I used the OnePlus One for the past 2 years or so, and that was an absolutely stunning phone, but a lot's changed in that time, and here it is. This is the OnePlus 3T. So as you probably noticed, I've got some of D-Brand's stunning skins on the back of this device, and a less stunning glass screen protector on the front. But under that skin there's a gunmetal coloured, well, metal body. You will soon be able to get the 64GB version in a colour called soft gold, but it's not available yet. The gunmetal colour is pretty much the only aesthetic change from the OnePlus 3 that came around about half a year ago. It still has a 1080p display, which by the way looks totally fine, unless you're going to use it for VR or something, and doesn't make any of the pixels visible when you're just looking at it normally. Plastic screen protector does come pre-installed, but I was very quick to get rid of it and get a glass one. Underneath that screen is a super fast fingerprint sensor. On the left side of the phone are volume controls and the alert slider, which I'll get onto a bit later. And on the right is the power button and the SIM card tray. On the top is nothing, and at the bottom is a speaker grill, headphone jack, and USB-C dash charging port. So talking about dash charging, let's move on to battery life. So the battery life on this phone is pretty good. It's 3400 milliamp hours that easily lasts me a full day, and often even longer than that. While that is great though, the main attraction is dash charging, and yes, the OnePlus 3 has had this too, but it pretty much means that you can get your phone charged to close to full from close to empty in about an hour or so. It also doesn't heat up the phone because all of that heat is discharged in the wall plug. This changed my charging habits a lot. I no longer have to worry if I forget to charge it overnight or I just have a low battery on it, because I can quickly plug it in and it'll juice it up quite a bit. So overall, I've just got a fuller battery most of the time, which is actually pretty great. Bear in mind though that you need both the charging wire and the wall plug to be original dash chargers, or else it charges at just the normal slow pace. Other internals in this phone are a huge 6GB of RAM, 64 or 128GB of storage, the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 821 processor, and Adreno 530 GPU, and it has two 16MP cameras, one at the back and one at the front. So starting at the front, as I said before, there's a 16MP camera, and yeah, you can get some really stunning selfies with it, which you can actually capture by just smiling. Oh, and yeah, even Snapchat pictures look decent for a change. It even does a pretty good job of nighttime photos. It does sharpen them and try to remove grain afterwards, but it doesn't actually look too artificial to really be an issue. When you're in a well-lit area though, the pictures look great, and yeah, you do get quite a nice amount of detail. I'll leave a link down below to some more pictures that you can see for yourself. Included in the link are also some pictures of the rear-facing camera too, which is pretty much the same story. When it comes to day photos, they look great, and nighttime photos look pretty nice, but obviously not as good as the day ones. This is the exact same camera as the one that's in the OnePlus 3, by the way. It has a very shallow depth of field, which looks great, and it does a pretty good job of focusing on stuff. By default, HDR is on auto, and I'd recommend that you just keep it like that. It doesn't actually slow down the picture capture at all, and it does make for some pretty nice looking photos. Anyway though, let's move on to software. So I couldn't really stick with the OnePlus Launcher. I don't really find the shelf helpful, and I already got used to the Eva launcher at the time, but I've since moved over to the Nova launcher. The launcher isn't anything special really though. The shelf is pretty similar to how Apple handles widgets. OxygenOS on the other hand has come a long way since its start, and it's actually really good now. It has quite a lot of nice features like the ability to set it to shut down and start up at certain times, the nice clear all button at the bottom of the app switcher, and a dark mode. It all feels really fast and really responsive, which to be honest I should expect from a phone running 6GB of RAM and a great processor. But just to clarify a few things I said in the first look video I did a bit ago, ambient display is actually still not great and kept coming on at random times. I made my phone switch on while it was in my pocket, even though there is a pocket mode on the phone that's supposed to detect when it's in your pocket and disable everything, but it just doesn't work perfectly. Secondly, as for the recents button, I've never realised how little I use the menu button until I came to this phone. I still use double tap on the home button to bring up the app switcher, but literally never have to bring the menu up via the button, so I never really single tap it by accident or anything. I do miss a few things when using OxygenOS though. For example, I couldn't find an option for double tapping the status bar to put the phone to sleep, but that hasn't really bothered me nearly as much as I thought it would. I didn't really want to root this phone because I wanted to use stuff like mobile payments and wanted to keep the phone as fast as possible, but I don't really regret that decision, and there's nothing really pushing me to root the phone, so that's really great, and I'm really enjoying OxygenOS so far. With this phone though, you are really getting the full package I feel for a lot less than the cost of other flagships. You'll be getting a really nice design with a great camera, a large battery with dash charging to quickly boost it up, and a really nice OS that's got all the button customization that you can expect from a OnePlus phone. There's little that I can fault with this phone. I've really enjoyed using it over the past few months, and I'll enjoy using it into the future too. But that's about it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a like. Be sure to comment down below if you like the OnePlus 3T or you like a different phone. Be sure to leave that down there. And be sure to subscribe to see more reviews like this one, as well as other technology videos that are going to be coming out on the channel. So, hope you all have a great day. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.